Warwolf2112 here, and I'm here with a video response to jranightmare's little top 5 A-listers in the Marvel Universe. And you know, I really thought this was going to be a lot easier than it is, and it really wasn't. It's pretty hard to decide who really belongs at the top in the Marvel Universe. It's not so hard with DC because all their heavy hitters get thrown into the JLA. Well, not every character gets to become, well, okay, almost every character gets to become an Avenger, but, you know, the Avenger isn't just an A-list hero team. It's got, you know, different characters. Well, it did. The new Avengers kind of changed that, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, before I get onto the list, there are a few that really could have been close. Ghost Rider, Punisher, they were real big in the 90s. Even if you didn't read comic books, you knew who those characters were. Really, really popular. I guess the design, people like skulls, you know. Gambit, he's another one. I mean, this guy was the most requested X-Men to not appear in the X-Men movies, not counting Wolverine Origins. Everybody wanted to see him in the movie, and that's proof that this character really is, you know, a big-time character in the Marvel Universe, at least as far as fans are concerned. Deadpool. You know, you would think that this would be like a C-list character, Deadpool, but apparently his design and his characterization has made him so popular amongst fans that now they have oversaturated Marvel comics with Deadpool. If they want sales to go up on a comic, they throw Deadpool in it. And, you know, he's their new go-to guy as far as that's concerned. But anyway, those are the guys that didn't quite make the cut. Thor's another one. His fame, I kind of think that he's kind of, you know, you got to have a little bit of bias there, because Thor himself he's a character who has existed for hundreds of years. You know, it's just Marvel's take on him, so he kind of has an automatic recognition born into his character, so I kind of let that disqualify him from this list. But anyway, on with the real A-listers, and here we have at number 5 the Incredible Hulk. Now the Hulk here, you know, he's really not an A-list hero. He's an A-list threat in the Marvel Universe. The heroes are scared of him. You know, nobody wants to see the Hulk around. Nobody wants to be around the Hulk. He's not that popular inside the Marvel Universe itself. People are more worried about what he's going to do. But to us here in the real world, this is one of the more famous Marvel creations. I mean, the guy's had a live-action TV series, 2 made-for-TV movies, 2 big-budget Hollywood films, an animated series, an animated film. I mean, the guy is everywhere in current media and is easily one of Marvel's most recognizable characters. So, the other thing is that the character himself, like I said, not very well respected in the Marvel Universe, as far as like being a compatriot or a hero, but definitely an A-list threat, and, you know, not bad for a guy who just wants to be left alone, but he's my number 5. Number 4, and fittingly so, the Fantastic Four. Now, I know I could have just copped out and said Reed Richards, but really it's the entire Fantastic Four. They're the first family of the Marvel Universe, the first of the big Silver Age heroes, and inside the Marvel Universe themselves, they have attained a kind of celebrity. I mean, everybody knows the Fantastic Four. Everybody wants to hang out with the Fantastic Four. They go and take tours of Forest Freedoms Plaza or Baxter Building, whichever. You know, everybody knows their full names. These guys are like the Kennedys of the Marvel Universe, or the royal family of the Marvel Universe. They're the first, and they're very, very important to the Marvel superhero structure in and of itself. And if there's an interdimensional threat or a space threat, first guy they go to is Reed Richards. This is usually our first line of defense against cosmic threats and stuff. So, yeah, the Fantastic Four, not my favorite characters, admittingly. Much like the Hulk, I really never got into their books, but even I can sit there and acknowledge that they belong on an A-list list. They really, truly embodied the whole A-list mentality or factor or whatever in the Marvel Universe. So they're my number 4. Number 3 is Iron Man. Yes, billionaire Tony Stark. He really does. He has all the money. He's the billionaire. He does all the funding for the Avengers. He provides our U.S. government with weapons. Really, he has his finger in every single pie. He's the guy who came up with the idea for the Illuminati. He's the guy who came up with who backed the Superhero Registration Act. He really is a major player, and yeah, he could be easily classified as a B-list character, but his position in the Marvel Universe makes him easily an A-lister, and that's why he's my number 3. Number 2 is Captain America, a hero created in a different era. He was primarily created as sort of an American propaganda tool in World War II against the Nazis and the Axis of Evil, or whatever the heck they were called. And he really is a symbol of our country. He's become the symbol of America. He's as patriotic, or he is the epitome of a patriotic superhero, fighting for the American dream, and is one of Marvel's oldest creations. A fantastic character, and he's everybody always says, well, he's got superpowers. No, Captain America really isn't superpowered. He's a guy who just he's the peak of human perfection. This is the most that the human body could possibly evolve to. And that kind of gives him an everyman quality. It kind of gives him this whole, if I trained hard enough, I could be a hero too. And that's kind of appealing, and so Cap gets my number 2. So, who is my number 1? Well, actually, it's which 2 are my number 1. And I really just couldn't pick between the 2 of them. And that is Spider-Man and Wolverine. These 2 really are the tip top of the A-list. And really, you can't choose between the 2. It's really hard. Spider-Man, of course, has been around since pretty much the beginning, and he's the character that everybody can relate to, the kid with the problems and all that. And Wolverine, he's ruthless. He appeals to all our violent sides, whereas Spider-Man, the more compelling part of Spider-Man is the fact that he does have problems. With Wolverine, the more compelling part is the fact that he can turn off his ability to care and just slash through things. It's like Spider-Man is the hero that any of us probably would have become had any of this extreme superhero crap happened. But Wolverine is the guy we'd want to be. He's the guy that we would want to be able to emulate, to cut loose and never have any problems, be virtually indestructible. And they both speak to a different era. Spider-Man came out in the 60s, and he was geared more towards the kids and stuff, and Wolverine represents that whole evolution to a more adult thinking in the comic book world. And to me, both characters are equally as important, and both characters are well renowned beyond the realm of just comic books and cartoons and toys. These are pretty much universally recognized characters, and to me, neither one is above the other. They both harbor that same spot, and that's why I just really I couldn't pick one over the other. They both are number 1 in my book. So anyway, this is World War 2112 saying, until next time, Excelsior.